Hi everyone, Sue from Art, Craft and Journals. Today for another Aunty Vera scrap and craft creative team project, I'm going to do an art journal page and I'm going to use some paints, but I'm going to try to use some of the scrapbooking papers as my focal points or to add a bit of interest to the page. Not sure how I'll go, but we'll give it a try and see what happens. Now the paints that I'm using are the two that I got with my order, which was Sedona and Tangerine, the Dina Wakley acrylic paints. And I do have the white, the lapis, and the lemon and sky. And I chose those ones because they are the colours that are sort of in these different papers. So I'm looking at using those to add to my page. Now I also have on the side my jelly plate. This is a smaller one, and I've also got a brayer, and yes, they do look very dirty but apparently it's good not to clean off your gel plate, so I'm going with that. Okay, I'm going to start off, I think, with the yellow or the lemon, and I'm just going to squeeze it on to my gel plate. I'm not going to put much. The aim is to cover these two pages. So I'm just going to roll it basically onto the page. Alright. Now I'm actually not going to clean it off. I'm going to now add the tangerine. Only small amounts I'm using. When I say small amounts, this is how much tangerine I've popped on there. I may need a little bit more, but we'll see. So you basically just, see if I can move it, you're just basically rolling it flat and then rolling it onto the page. Now I'm just noticing I'm actually getting a circle there. That is because the page behind actually has a circle, what do you call it, I've used texture paste on the page before and it's a circle, so that's going to add an interesting perspective to the page. Alright, okay, a little bit now of the Sedona, which is a sort of a deeper red. Just going to put a little bit more this time. Now you will notice that I have put some greaseproof paper between the pages, and I also have done some masking tape through the middle. That hopefully will stop some of the bleeding through to the other pages. Okay. Now it kind of is important that you dry between the layers with particularly if you're changing from your cools to your warms or warms to your cools. That actually is pretty dry anyway, so I'm going to use the sky paint now. And you really can see that circle, can't you? Oh well, doesn't matter. Now it's just random really. I need a bit more colour here, don't I? I might put a little bit more of the light blue, the sky. Alright, and the darker one, the lapis. This might be a little dark, so not sure about this one yet. Okay, I don't want to put too much of this one because it will overpower the other colours. Okay, now I am going to have to get this off, so I will be back in a moment. Okay, a little bit of white. And you can use gesso for this part as well. This is just to tone down any bits that you think are sort of a little bit too stand-out-ish. Now, unfortunately, it's picked up the blue from underneath, so it's not quite as white as I would like it. I'm going to actually have to clean the gel plate. I've just used a baby wipe for that. Just give this a quick wipe over. Okay, and I will keep the baby wipe. It's probably not the most attractive colours, but anyway. Okay, the white. So you can see any sort of larger areas that stand out, I'm just going over them, like so. Okay, now what I will do is just going to use up the remaining. Okay, so you can see there's not a lot left on there now. And you just leave that for next time. So I might just move it out of my way. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to have to let this dry. But I'm thinking I need to add something else, maybe with the stencils. So I might grab out the stencils and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I have got the stencils that I used for my ATC cards. This one is the Tim Holtz, they're layering stencils. There's the honeycomby looking one. There's one I'd call more of a spider webby. There's also this little one here. So I'm just going to use those just to give a little bit more interest to the page. So I'm going to start with Sedona, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit onto my gel plate. And I've got, sponge. And I think we'll use this one. Now I don't want to do too much of this, and I don't want it to be too heavy either, just to give the page a bit of interest. It's a very similar process to I did with the ATC cards, except that I did use the brayer instead of the paintbrush or something, just to apply the paint. So it's all about building up the layers on the page, which gives it more interest. Alright, let me see, I'm thinking maybe the lighter blue, the sky. I do like these Dina Wakley paints. They have small bottles, but they do go quite a long way if you, you know, when you're doing this sort of thing, you really don't use a lot of paint at all. As you can see, I'm keeping it very subtle, as best as I can, so that it doesn't overpower anything. And just small amounts, and don't use the whole stencil, just a section in the middle. It's just building it up, and as you can see, I'm now sort of taking away a little bit from that circular look that was on this page. The what's on that page actually is a mandala page that I did. I did do a video of it. If I remember to link it, I will. But that's why it's got that. It was texture paste. I think we might just try some white now. And I will just use this spidery webby one. Anywhere that's sort of a bit darker maybe. I'll just bring it up a little bit so you can actually see a little bit more of the texture. Okay. Alright, I'm quite happy with that actually, and that didn't take long at all. You know, if you're struggling to do some art, that really doesn't take that long. So I've really got to let that dry, although it's not that wet. So that'll be dry in a couple of minutes. So what I'm thinking is the papers, how can I use these papers onto here? I'd like to use some of these journaling cards, but not as journaling cards, as sentiments or in, you know, something of interest. I'm thinking I really like this cat here, but I don't want time for a snooze, so I might actually fussy cut that cat out. Let me see, what have I got? Okay, now because it is similar colourings, I'm just going to go around it with the chisel Sharpie. You could also distress the edges. Alright, and you can see already that brings it out a little bit. Now, what else have we got? I do love this paper. Thinking if I do some sort of a layering thing here. Not sure about this blue. I still prefer the oranges and the reds. Hang on, we've got one here. What's this one? So I'm just sort of having a look at what colours I prefer. I haven't used much of that gold colour actually. This colouring here. But I think a lot of the page is yellow, so I don't really, or the goldy colour, I don't want to use that one. Now there was a blue. Let me see, I'm just having a look at the papers. Somewhere I do remember a blue. The fish one. This one here. Okay, that's not too bad. Actually, I don't mind that, though I still like that one. There is a plain blue. Where is that? Here. On the back of the gold. This one here. This one is the yellow light blue. I think, I'm just looking if I've got one of those cut already. No, don't appear to have one of those cut. It's interesting. Okay, let's have a look. We take those away. Don't mind that. Now the next thing is, how am I going to do it? Am I going to cut them with straight lines? Am I going to tear them? Might use my tear ruler, or the blade. Yeah. Just sort of going by, not measuring, just sort of having a look. I'm trying to create a bit of a layered sort of look here that I can use as a focal point for the cat. Just sort of draw the eye down into there. Just playing actually with the colours and the papers at the moment. Let me turn it that way. And what I was thinking was over this side having one of the other sentiment cards. Let's have a look, what have we got? Some people will never understand how much I love my cat, but that's okay, my cat knows. That one actually is not bad, although this white one will stand out nice. Cats are not our whole life, but yeah, I like that one. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. Okay, what I'm trying to do is incorporate scrapbooking papers into my journaling somehow, so that it just gives you a bit more of more materials to use, because you end up with scrapbooking papers that you can actually do with art journaling. I like that fish one. Well, I don't like pattern on pattern, but I kind of like it there. Or even something like that. Don't mind that actually. Do think that needs some sort of a border, and I still need something else here. I'm thinking the red, maybe. Just a little bit of the red. I think so. How big are the red? Move it back over here. What I'm actually doing is I can actually see in my iPad, because my iPad controls my camera, I'm actually looking in my iPad at what I'm seeing here, because sometimes looking at it through your phone, if you take a photo, or the iPad or something, you get it, it's a slightly different perspective. So I'm just trying to see how it looks through the different lens, I guess. No, don't like that one. Don't like that. I've actually kind of, now how did I have it like that? I actually don't mind that. This to me needs to be trimmed. It's too big, and I think it needs a border. So I'm going to trim that, and I am going to get out a cutting mat so I can actually do it straight. Okay, I think that's better. Alright, now I'm going to do a little border around it using, it's Triplast Fine Liner by Staedtler, and it doesn't say colour, but it's actually a brown. So I think we might do pretend or faux stitches. Alright, now I'm thinking I might actually do the faux stitches on here as well, and I might actually trim this one so it is actually straight, because I think it will look better with all the others being straight. Alright, so now I'm going to put some faux stitches around all of these. Alright, now I am going to distress the edges of all of those as well. Just having a look at this rusty hinge. What does that look like on here? Yeah, I don't mind that actually. I think I'll use that one. Don't use the rusty hinge much, but I kind of like it on this. Not so much on this one, I think. Okay, we might try the darker on that one. Let's look on the red. Yeah, we need the darker. So I think I might try and find Walnut Stain. What's this one? Vintage Photo, that might do. Alright, and I've just realised this one here hasn't got any faux stitching, so we'll quickly do that one. Alright, actually what I might do is go around the edges of these pages too, just quickly. And I haven't got around the cat either. I need to go around the cat. Right. Now let's put it all together. Okay, might just move it so you can actually see it. I think we need something on there. I'm thinking, if I can find it, is some white paint. Let's just move all of this out of the way. Okay, let's have a look at that. And I think need something there. I'm just thinking, I did have a little sentiment piece that said I love my cat. Where is it? I did have one cut, but I think I can cut another one. I think that is nice. And look, it's a simple page, but it just shows you how you can incorporate scrapbook paper into a junk journal, or an art journal page. And I think I might add a couple of little things in the end. So let's glue this down to start with. And I'm going to use this tape that I'm desperately trying to get rid of. So it's really horrible to use. It's so sticky on the edges that no matter what you do, you end up with stickiness everywhere. Okay, I'm thinking I do have some of these little birdie paper flowers. I'm just thinking I might add a couple of those onto here as well, just because, although they've got little pearls on them. Maybe not. Unfortunately, when you're putting stuff in an art journal, if you've got, as I've discovered with that one, anything that's a little bit dimensional can be a problem. So I'm just looking to see if I actually have any flatter ones. I don't think I do. I think I've used them all. Well, that's a shame. Pink ones, but no, they're not going to fit, although that one would have gone, but there's only one of them. What a shame. Now maybe we'll use it. Let's have a look what else we got. Okay, now I found a couple of little flowers that I could probably use. Quite like that one on that colouring, but I quite like them there. Have I got any more? Let's have a look. And one more. I like to have them in threes. Oops, okay. Alright, I do like that. I might glue them down. Then I'm going to put centres in them. Oh my goodness, this one does not want to stick. Stay there, stay there. Alright, and I've lost my lid. There we go. And a little dollop. Alright, now of course that's going to take a few minutes to dry now, but it will look good when it is. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Alright, let me just clear some space, and I'll just bring it up and show you. So there's that one. And the other side. There we go. I really like that. I think that's turned out really well. Nice way to use your journaling cards too, I think. Just a little bit different. A very simple journaling page that if you've got a little bit of paint in some colours, I think you could do that quite easily. So, alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.